Hey guys, it's Allie and welcome to day 20 at December Daily. Today I am working with the back of day 19, and just as a refresher, day 19 had a couple tags that I adhered onto a transparent page from Bella Boulevard, and I cut tags yesterday before I adhered those down so that I would be able to have a template for today depending on what I end up putting on there. I've got a few things that I am considering here. Could be a combination of a couple tags, like I did yesterday where they were different. I may print out a picture and just cut it in that kind of random shape. I also am considering just taking a pattern paper and cutting it in the random shape, or I may use this as the pattern. Yesterday when I was in here working on my page, Audrey, which is Aaron's daughter, was in here with me while she was waiting for her mom to pick her up, and she was wanting to participate with me, and so she did this drawing yesterday, and she used the gratitude stamp, and she used some of the trees from the, I think that's the Holly Becker, the Decorate kit. And so I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is use this as the next page, and I'm going to add it in here, trim off the bottom so that it's the same height as the page protector, and then fold it in some way or another like this and have something else on the top. And what I'm planning to have on the top here is, she also made some circle ornaments that she drew yesterday when she was in here. So I'm thinking that I will print out that picture and put that on top of there. So the, today we'll be including her voice via her drawing, which is something that she really likes to do. She likes to draw lots of animals specifically, and I just thought that was a fun addition to the album, a fun story to include in my quest again to include lots of different voices from our family in here as we go. Let's see, so that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to start off by figuring out what I'm going to do with the tags. Like I said, I may do, you know, this is this same size, and I have a few of those left, and then I think I'll probably use this pattern paper and cut it to that middle tag, probably end up putting the day 20 on here, and then maybe picking out another pattern or something, or maybe even just writing a little bit of journaling on this about the story of this picture. So that is where I'm starting from today, and I'm going to go ahead get started measuring this and printing out the photo. All right, so I started off by trimming her drawing just a little bit along the bottom edge. I don't know, maybe less than 1/4 of an inch came off of the bottom. She didn't really have any, you know, there wasn't important content along there, and I wanted it to be the same height as the page protectors themselves. So I just used the page protector as a guide, laying that on the page protector, or excuse me, laying it on the page protector on her artwork on the trimmer. The next step then was to punch the holes, and I am using that power punch tool. It seems to be working fine now, and I definitely appreciate the bigger sized holes. It really does make things turn easier in the album itself. So I just use again, I use a page protector as a guide, and I do have the part flipped up, the little portion flipped up on the top there to be able to see where the hole is being punched. After that, I put it back into the album, and I folded over the artwork. I wanted to leave a little bit of a space there before it got to the holes, and then I used my ruler to measure what that size was before I went ahead and did the printing. Okay, so I printed out my picture, and it's definitely, she did it on white paper in pencil, so it's kind of hard to see. Probably, I'm not sure on the video, but in person, I can definitely see it. A couple people have asked about the crop marks that are on here. I'm printing, this is printing from Photoshop Elements, currently is when I printed this on today, into my Canon Pixma MG7720 printer. And there is an option to show the crop marks when you are printing, and it is under, let me look, I'm looking over here real quick. It's under, I think, more options. If you click more options in the box at the bottom of the print box, that is where you can click to then select a box that will allow you to have crop marks on there. So just, it's something that makes it easy. I mean, in this case, you can see where the lines are, but it's a nice option to be able to have as well, you know, depending on what it is that you are printing out there. So next steps for me are just cropping this, or, you know, cutting this photo out, and then I'm gonna adhere it onto the outside of this part. Tomorrow, for whatever my story is tomorrow, I will probably have another photo adhered to the back of this side as well, which will make this sturdier, because this is just a piece of regular printer paper that she drew on. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim this out and get ready to adhere it onto the back. All right, next steps was simply adhering the photo itself onto the artwork, or onto the back side of the artwork that is going to create the flap. Again, I'm just using rolling adhesive. This is a Scotch brand rolling adhesive that is my favorite, the Dot and Roller. It's one that I've used for a long time now. And I went ahead and just adhered that onto the top. It was pretty close to where I wanted it to be. It was a little bit short on the bottom, but I just left it. I think that it was fine. I love how that turned out. I've done lots of fold outs over the years, some that have had more pages where I've used washi tape to hold the seam together. This one I just needed one though. I added an Avery index tab, which is another one of my favorite products to use in albums like this. And I put it on the inside this time just to designate, you know, first of all, that is a turnable or an openable page. And then I used some stamps from my Christmas Phrases stamp set that I'm going to do in a second here. But first I grabbed a chipboard, I think it says Merry Making, chipboard piece from the Pam Garrison December Daily mini kit, and it has gold foil on it, red and gold foil. And I just placed it there to kind of set it there to think about it a little bit while I went ahead and did the stamping. I'm using black StazOn for the phrases from the Christmas Phrases stamp set. And this one, I believe, says encourage joy or encourage the joy. And then on the other side, I think I did something like today's story or some other, you know, fairly generic kind of phrase there. Those Christmas phrases, as you guys have seen, if you've been following along with all of my videos this month, I've used more than I remember using any other stamp set before. I used them on almost, you know, not every story, but a lot of them, especially anytime I had the Avery index tabs, which I have used a lot as well. So went ahead and slipped that into the plastic portion of the tab to hold that in place. And then I did go ahead and add the Merry Making chipboard piece right on top there, just kind of using the point part to point down towards the journaling itself. And I like how that turned out. I think that was a nice pop of color on there as well. Next steps for me was using the tags that I had cut out yesterday. I remember when I did the tags for day 19, before I adhered them down, I cut out templates for myself so that I could repeat the same shapes on the back side of the transparent page. So what I decided to do was use some of the pattern papers from the main kit, and I also used some from the Pam Garrison mini kit as well, as you'll see in a couple minutes here. Initially, I'm just kind of, you know, playing with placement a little bit and figuring out which patterns I'm going to use. I also grabbed the December Stories pattern, which was included in the main kit, and trimmed that one down as well to fit the same size tag. I feel like that was a really smart thing to do yesterday, to cut those out so that I knew the exact size when I was doing that today. I also like how you can see the ribbon from day 19 coming out the top of the day 20 tag as well. I grabbed that star pattern, which was from the Pam Garrison mini kit, and decided to use that after kind of I looked at some of those other red ones, the Jingle All the Way, the star, and decided I wanted something that was a little bit lighter and not as dark. I think any one of them, you know, would have ended up working. It's mainly just combining a couple patterns together, but I liked how the star looked on there. As I was doing that, then I decided that I wanted to emboss the white 20 chipboard, and I wanted to use the Ranger Red Tinsel embossing powder again, which is one that I've used on a couple of other days. But before I did that, I went ahead and adhered those tags right down in place. again, happy with that solution as a back-to-back page, so that you don't see it through. All you see is the stars on the top and the transparency there as well. Trying to just get them in place. I did pull it out so I could see it a little bit better, to see how it was lined up on there. They're not perfect, but they're pretty good in terms of being the right shape there as well. So again, the tinsel, I bought a new craft mat. I think I used this the other day as well. So I had one that had just been mutilated after using it for so often. I keep wanting to get one of those acrylic It's So Fun or surprise tags in there. And I thought about it on this one, the idea of kind of layering some additional tags, but I ended up not using that. And you'll see what I did instead in just a second here. Still for embossing, using Versamark first, and as what holds the embossing powder in place, Versamark, and then again using the snappy tray to hold the embossing powder. Like, that's just I've had that thing for years and years and years, and it's been one of my best purchases, especially for the amount of embossing that I like to do in December. When I pick up the embossing or the embossed piece there, sometimes my finger will take some of it off the edge. So I usually pour a little bit more over the top again after I have picked it up, just to double check that I have as much coverage as I want to have. And then I went ahead and used my heat gun to get that in place there, melting it. This one I felt like I could see better today where it was melting. I can't remember if it was the red tinsel, maybe it was the white with the glitter that was hard to tell. But this one definitely I could see as it was melting into place there. I felt like that worked out well. And I liked the really bright red. I felt like it went nice with the chipboard piece, even though that chipboard piece is a little darker on the other page, but I liked having that pop of red for the 20. So as I thought about what I wanted to use, I wasn't sold on this tag page on the back here, and I felt like I wanted something else. I wanted some other something. And so I went looking through my stash of stuff, and I ended up pulling out the one of the last of the December Daily chipboard shapes that I have on that chipboard shape set that I used. I think I used almost all of those. That one turned out really good. There's a messy circle on there that I think says "Celebrate This." I'll see it here in a second. I was pulling off the backing there, "Celebrate This," and that became the 0 of the 20. I liked that as a solution for this page, and I wanted to. You'll see I kind of was making sure that it was getting stuck down too, because it is embossed or adhered on top of an embossed number. So we'll see if that is able to stick on there. I tried to add some additional pressure to it. But one of the things that happened when I was pushing down is that I have those foam dots on the other side. But anyway, it seemed like it was in place. I was able to pick it up by the chipboard piece itself. Anyway, that's a look at day 20. Hope to see you guys back again.